Good morning. I finished a sleeve. It looks quite short because it's 3/4 length, but I did some 2x2 ribbing and I did Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and this is my Madewell that I showed you a couple of days ago. So I'm pleased about that, and I've I've picked up the stitches from the other sleeve and I'm starting to knit that side. So I'm knitting this in my You Spin Me Round colourway in my merino nylon base, so that is going to be so squishy and lovely when it's finished. I wanted to tell you about this pattern. Grace mentioned it on her podcast, on her Vlogmas I should say, and it's little tiny cute little jumpers, and she'd got a kit from Wild and Woolly, but this is the pattern you can actually get on Ravelry, and it's the Matchbox Sweater project. I'm so going to buy that in a minute. Love it. Oh my goodness, look at these, so cute. Right, it's time to open my little advent minis. Let's see what we've got today. Oh, we've got another orangey coloured one. That'll go nicely with some of the others we had. Oh, that's a lovely grey. You can't beat a nice grey. I know that Nicola from Bumble Stitches is knitting a lovely wrap out of different greys and it looks gorgeous, so I could do something like that with this one. And that's another lovely Christmassy fabric. Oh, I like the leaves on that one. And the mini we've got is a lovely pink again. Oh, that's really pretty. Lovely. So this is the crocheted square I'd done from yesterday's yarn. Isn't that lovely and delicate? So I'll have to start doing the plain ones now to go with my Battenberg blanket. They're not quite so fun though. Here's my Madewell cardigan so far. So obviously I've got to finish the sleeve and go around the neck, but I've got a finished sleeve. So like I said before, it was on a podcast, it is a little bit looser than I anticipated around the top of the arm. But you know, if I've got a thicker t-shirt on underneath, that might be useful and nice and cosy. And it's just sort of 3/4 length, perhaps a little bit longer, because I tend to roll up my sleeves anyway. But I think that looks okay. Let's just see what it looks like when I've got the other arm on, etc. But it's over the bum. Keep me nice and cosy. Today's socks are my Rose City rollers, and I've just knitted them about 1 inch longer, and they're knitted in Knit Picks Felici, and they don't quite match on the toe because I matched up the yarn for the second sock, but then I sort of ran out of yarn and I had to use the bit that I pulled off the ball to get this top bitch to match, if that makes sense. But I don't mind. They're really cosy and comfy. Keep my feet nice and warm. I always think it's really important to make sure you've got a clean machine, so I'm going to hoover the top of my machine this morning. There we are, all nice and clean at the top. I'm now going to give inside my bobbin case a bit of a clean and hoover all inside here. Ooh. I'm now going to turn my wheel. I'm going to use my brush to clean inside this little hole. And turn it all the way around so that I get into every little nook and cranny, and you can see there's bits of dust coming off. I do this every few days, or at least once a week anyway, depending on how much sewing I do. Should really do it every day, I suppose. And I'm just going to go around all the little holes, give it a clean inside. Feed dogs there, and then I'll get the hoover. I like to just move my blade here where it cuts the thread and give that a clean behind there as well. There we go, let's put it back together. Can we remember what to do? So I'm getting my bobbin case now and giving that a brush as well. I think it needs a bit of an oil, so I normally put a dot of oil on the back of the bobbin case. You literally only need a very small amount, and this is special oil just for sewing machines. I generally just put a little bit on my finger and then put it on the back of the bobbin case. Put that back in. It's more difficult to do it when I'm trying to do it through a camera as well. Put the bobbin back in. Oops. And we just need to thread it up and we're all ready to go. So I'm stitching around the veins of the leaves with this gold thread, and it looks gorgeous, I think. Although it's breaking, because it is a shiny thread, it tends to break quite a lot, so I'm having to stitch quite a lot slower. It is a pain, but I'm loving the way it looks. And these are going to be bags by the end of the day, ready for the update on Friday. A little tip for using metallic thread is to use a net over your thread and to have a stand that's separate from your machine to allow the thread to unwind before it gets into the actual workings of your machine. I also like to use a top stitch needle or a metallic needle, but I definitely prefer the Schmetz needles compared to some of the other makes. But just as long as it's got a bigger eye so that the metallic thread doesn't shred as much when it goes through. So all day I've been busy making bags. I just was going to show you a few of the styles that I've done. So these are the ones that I was working on camera before with the gold thread on. So I've done a small sort of sock 2-3 skein bag, and then a larger one as well with the gold thread on. And I found some of this gorgeous linen fabric with like a coral print on a nice plain cream background, and I've put some grey wool on the bottom of those. And I've got quite a bit of this cat fabric, so I've done some smaller bags with blue wool on the bottom, some with grey wool on the bottom. And then I've done some really big bags for like sort of jumpers and blanket projects. They've got a big box bottom there with the cat fabric as well, so I've done that in blue wool and some cream canvas as well. So I've done multiples of these this last week or so, so I'm pleased with what I've finished off today. So it's now 8 o'clock and I've finished sewing for the day. I'm gonna go and upload this onto YouTube so that you can see this before tomorrow. I've got a lovely day out at the Midlands Monthly Meetup tomorrow in Nottingham, so that'll be lovely. I will be taking you along with me so you can see how I get on. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!